What's going on, guys? Welcome to another fantasy draft challenge here in NHL 23. Today, I will be taking the Montreal Canadiens on a one-season journey to win the Stanley Cup. Now, if you guys don't know what's going to be happening, I'll go through it super quickly as we get into this. Now, first things first, we're going to find out where we'll be drafting here today, so I'm going to randomize this 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and we are drafting 16th in our fantasy draft. Right down the middle, not a bad place to be. Now, what's going to be happening is, I am going to do a fantasy draft of the first 18 players. In those first 18 players, I must have at least 6 current Montreal Canadiens. Then the AI will draft the rest of the team, and we will start our journey with the season. Throughout the season, I'm allowed to make 1 free agent signing, and I'm allowed to make 1 trade of any kind I want besides using draft picks. Now, the ultimate rule here is that no matter what, 6 Montreal Canadiens must be on the team at all times. If I get offered a trade, I am allowed to accept it no matter what, even if there's draft picks involved, but the trade that I make cannot involve draft picks. I'm also not allowed to edit any existing offers that come my way or my trade block. Injuries are off, the salary cap is on, and we have 1 season to win the Stanley Cup. As more things happen throughout the episode, I will go ahead and give you some more rules, but let's go ahead and get into our draft. Now, this week we're using the Montreal Canadiens, but next week you're going to have to tell me who we're using. Let me know down below. The top-rated comment for whatever team it is will be week 3. All right, it is draft time. Yossi, Marner, Vasilevsky, Rantanen, Fox, Tkachuk. What? Yeah, so that's a mistake. I'm gonna fix this. My bad.
Later that night.
All right, and we're back to where we need to be. Of course, we're going to be pick 16. That's where we landed. That's where we're going to stay. So pick 16 with Montreal. Finally, let's do this. Get into our draft. No Ben Sherratt going in the top 10. All right, well, who do we take at number 1? We got Panarin, Crosby, Ovi. I don't know if we can say no to Crosby here. I think Crosby's a smart pick. We take Crosby, make him our number 1C, get him a cup after 1 year in Montreal. Let's do it. Sidney Crosby is pick number 1. Seider, Bratt, Keller, Zegras, Connor. All right, looks like both. Oh, no, it looks like Caulfield and Suzuki are both. No, Caulfield has been taken. Okay. Suzuki still looks like he's available, though, so I think we'll take Suzuki here. He's 87. I don't want to miss out on getting Suzuki. We already didn't get Caulfield, so Suzuki will be our second pick, and our center depth is going to be Crosby, Suzuki. All right, we should probably go defense now. We've already spent a lot of our cap already, too, so we got to be smart here. 11, 8, 11, 6, 6. Maybe Lindholm at 6.5 might not be bad, but that's going to be tough for a top defenseman to only be making that much. Maybe we go Pietrangelo at 8.8. He's 89 overall. I'm going to go Pietrangelo. I think he's a smart option in terms of value. Pick number 4, not sure what I'm looking for. Might just go with best player I can find at a good value, like Patrice Bergeron. Center depth of Crosby, Suzuki, Bergeron. He's cheap. We can also go Montour to play on defense. We got O'Reilly. O'Reilly's even cheaper than Bergeron. Obviously, Bergeron's going to be better. You know what? Let's go Kuzmenko here. We'll get ourselves a top-line winger who's very cheap. We got to start conserving that cap because we're going to get closer down to the bottom here. There's going to be a lot of good players available with a lot of cap. Pick number 5 here should probably get another Habs, if I can find one. This one's going to be really hard. Trying to find Habs and players that are on the team this is tough. All right, next pick, I'm going to go defense and take Noah Hanifin to play on the first line. I can already tell you right now, I'm not looking forward to this season. The team is not going to be nearly as good as the Leafs was, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to do well. Realistically, trying to find these Habs is what's killing me. I don't know what to do. I'm going to take David Krejci here, get another center for us, more center depth, and realistically, that's the smartest idea I can do. He's only $1 million in cap, and I'm going to have to start taking, like, Hoffman and high cap hit Habs to even get in on the challenge. I'm going to go with another defenseman here for pick number 7. I'm getting concerned. I'm not going to lie. We got Ekholm, and that's good. You know, it's nice to have the defenseman. I am going to go see if I can get, like, Hoffman or Gurianov here just to get the Habs players out of the way. There's Drouin. Well, let's take Drouin. We'll take Drouin. There we go. Didn't see him earlier. Nice. We got Jonathan Drouin. That's 2 Habs. Let's go get Hoffman or Gurianov or whoever else is available. We have Hoffman here. He's a low elite. Another 4.5 million. That's a lot of cap, but we got to fill these spots. That's 3 Habs. Montembeault is actually available. He's only got a $1 million cap hit. There we go. We have a goalie. That's 4 Habs. We need 2 more. And we have a decent amount of picks left. Okay. We'll bring in Killorn. We need that extra little spark on offense. I'm nervous with the way this team is looking. I'm just being dead honest with you. I don't think this is going to be a very good team. But we'll make the best of it. We'll see if there's any other, like, Marco Kasper's available, who I would obviously love to have, but, like, it wouldn't make sense to get him. But we got to get these Habs done. We'll see who else is available. Dadonov here, we'll take him. And then maybe Jake Allen for a goalie if he's still available. And then we'll be done our Habs and we can take whoever we want. Jake Allen still there? He is! There we go, Jake Allen. So that's our 6 Habs. So Dadonov, Hoffman, Drouin, Suzuki, and then we have the 2 goalies. That's our 6 picks for the Habs. This is a tough one. We can now take whoever we want. We have $23 million in cap space with a lot of picks to go. Plus, we have to make a free agency signing, and we gotta have cap for trades. We're in trouble here. This is tough. Who's this? Giordano? We're gonna bring in Giordano. 800K gets us another defenseman, but he's a decent overall. That's helpful. 4 more picks here. 4 more picks. We could bring in Savard, who's also a Hab. And then we can actually trade a Hab if we want to in the future, because we only need to have 6 on the team. Let's take Savard. This is pick 16 here. We have 3 centers, 4 left wings. We need right wingers, so we'll see if we have anyone available here. We already have our defense. We can take Phil Kessel, Corey Perry, Sissons. I mean, I don't want to take anyone in the 70s, you know what I mean? We got 82 overall Phil Kessel at 1.5 million. We're bringing back Phil. I think we had him last episode too, but that contract is just too good. This is pick number 17. We have 5 defensemen, 2 right wingers, 4 left wingers, 3 centers, and our 2 goalies. Let's finish up the defense. Take Ryan Suter, put him on the team. So we have all 6 defensemen filled. That's good. And then we can take 1 more player here. It can be anyone we want. We have 13 million in cap. This will be the final pick. We need wingers. We need 1 more center to fill out the roster here. And of course, the AI is going to draft some other players for us. Let's go with... I'm going to go with Johansson here and get our 4th center, so our center depth is set. That is the team that I have drafted. The AI is going to do the rest. So here's the team that has been drafted for the squad. We'll go ahead and take a look at the lines, but of course, we do get to make 1 free agent signing as well. Alright, so here's how it's looking. It's not good. It's Crosby, Kaloran, Kessel, Kuzmenko, Suzuki, Dewar, Drouin, Krejci, Hoffman, Gustafsson, Johansson, and Dadonov. Of course, we'll be looking for a forward in free agency. And then we have Ekholm with Suter, Hanifin, Pietrangelo, Savard, Giordano, trying to get the best chemistry as I can here. Our goalies are Montembeault and Allen. I'm not confident. Now let's go looking for a forward in free agency. We have cap space and we have roster spots. So let's see who's available. And in terms of forwards, we got Oshie, JVR, we got Johnson. I don't know who I want to pursue, but we need to pursue someone. I'm going to go TJ Oshie. We're going to put him on probably the first line. I am going to overpay to make sure that we get him, because I'm only allowed to make 1 offer. TJ Oshie says yes, let's call him up and put him on the squad. That's a big help. Well, for chemistry reason, Oshie's actually going to play on the 3rd line with Krejci and Drouin, and the rest of the team is going to look the same, so let's get Simon. It is opening night against the Toronto Maple Leafs, so let's do this. Let's win game number 1 here. This is the team, actually, we were Toronto last episode, and we're playing them. We ended up losing in the Stanley Cup Finals in the first episode of the Fantasy Draft Challenge. Let's see how we do in Montreal. After the first period, it is a 2-2 game. Crosby and Hanifin scoring for us. Let's go. Second period, 7-2. Holy crap. Kessel, Crosby, Dadonov, Kessel, and Giordano. And in the third period, we made it 8-4. Alex Killorn getting 1. I did not expect that. Your 3 stars, Crosby, 5 points. Kessel with 4. It's a good start. The next game is against Detroit. I'm going to go until we lose a game here. And then once we lose a game, we'll go all the way up to the Christmas break. Game number 2 here against the Red Wings. Let's see how we do. 8 goals in our first game. In the first period of the second game, it is 2-0 Detroit. Bergeron and Berggren. Second period, 3-3. Holy crap, we can score goals. We got Crosby, Kuzmenko, and Dadonov, and we are here in the third period, tied at 3, shorthanded. No problem there, and Bergeron does solve Montembeault shorthanded. We're down by 1, absolutely crushing them in the shots. Power play, and nothing. We scored 8 goals in the last game. We need 1 more here in the third period. A lot of penalties being taken. And Alex Killorn ties the game on Vasilevsky. 2 minutes to go, and we are headed to overtime. We'll go slow through this overtime, see what happens, see if we get the W. If it goes to a shootout, we will watch the shootout. If we lose, we sim to the Christmas break. If we win, we keep going, and we are going to a shootout. Let's watch. Will we go 2-0? Let's find out. He shoots, and absolutely nothing there from Crosby. That was weak as hell. Who do we have up for Detroit? It's going to be Patrice Bergeron. He comes in on the forehand and can't get that by Montembeault. David Krejci, looking for the game winner. No, not going to happen. Back to Detroit. Klingberg, if he scores, it's over. He comes in, shoots. Huge save by Montembeault. This one continues. It's Pietrangelo coming in. Why not? Try a defenseman. He can't beat Vasilevsky. It's Trevor Moore for Detroit. He can't solve Montembeault, and we are on to, what is this, round 8? Noah Hannafin coming in. He's got a toey, but he can't beat Vasi. It's Jack Quinn, and he scores! Oh my, Jack Quinn ends the shootout. I don't know how many rounds that was, but we take the L. Well, guys, because we lost, we're going to go all the way up to the Christmas break. We'll take a look at our line, see who's doing what, and of course, if we get any trade offers, I'll let you take a look. Well, we have a trade offer. It's for Krejci and Giordano for 2 seconds. Absolutely not doing this. In fact, I'm going to tell you as a little spoiler, we have yet to lose in regulation. We've played like 10 games. Toronto wants Phil Kessel for a 5th-round pick. I'm going to pass on that. As you can see, the record, 13-1-3. We are unreal. David Krejci for Denisenko, a 3rd and a 6th. You know, that might not be bad. However, Krejci is one of our centers. We can't afford to lose a center. Well, here we are at the Christmas break. We're 19-9-6. We went on a little bit of a streak there of losses, which is definitely going to hurt us. But we are 2nd in the division. Let's take a look at our players' stats. Leading the way so far is Sidney Crosby, 39 points in 34 games. Pietrangelo has 30. And as you can see here, as we go down, a lot of not happening from some of the players, like Dewar, which you can't really fault. Savard, the defenseman, not really doing anything here. Like Suter, Hannafin, Savard, Giordano, Ekholm, nothing. But as for forwards, like, I'm not super upset. You know, our 3rd line's not doing anything, but like the top 2 lines, pretty solid. In terms of goalies, right now, Jake Allen has been really playing well. Montembeault, not so great. Maybe looking for another goalie here. In the entire league, Claude Giroux is leading with 51 points in 34 games, followed by Kaprizov with 46, Ovi with 45, Bergeron with 44, Panarin with 44, Kopitar with 44, and then we have Crosby right there with 39. Now we're 2nd in the Atlantic, but in the entire league, we are sitting 3rd. That's really damn solid. Anaheim leading the way with 49 points in 35 games. They're 23-9-3. Let's take a look at their team and see how they match up. Anaheim has Ovi, Kopitar, and Skinner, Duhaime, Hurdle, and Bunting, Jankowski, McMichael, and Belsers, Zetterlund, Anderson Dolan, and Greer. On defense, it's Faravari with Carlson, Spurgeon, Mahura, Carrier, and White Cloud. And in net, they have Igor Shesterkin holding the fort down. He's got a 9-14. Now, at this point, I don't want to make any changes. We're doing very well. We're 3rd in the league. So we're going to go up to the trade deadline before we make our trade. We'll take one last look at everyone's stats, see how everyone's doing, but I don't want to touch anything. We have a game here against the Tampa Bay Lightning, so let's see how it goes. After the first period, it's 1-0 Tampa. Second period, 2-1. Phil Kessel gets on the board, but Svetch for Tampa. We're down by 1 here in the 3rd period. Come on, guys. Let's get this W. We've been playing so damn well. They had a 5-on-3 and didn't capitalize, then we had a long-ass power play here and don't capitalize. What the hell is going on? Down by 1 here, 5 minutes to go. Need something big here. Crosby, want to do something? 1 minute? Not going to happen. We take the L, but I'll see you guys at the trade deadline and, of course, for any trades we get in between. All right, we have a trade. We have Sean Corelli and Carson Soucy for a couple of picks. I would be absolutely out of my mind to not accept this trade. Now, yes, there's draft picks in here. I'm not allowed to modify a trade, but I can take any trade that gets sent. We're absolutely accepting this. This makes our depth way better. Of course, we're going to be buyers at the trade deadline, and here we are. We are 35-21-6. We've fallen to 3rd in the Atlantic, but we're only 2 points behind Florida. We'll take a look at the entire league here. How are we doing? We are all the way down in 8th. That's not bad at all, honestly. We're in 8th here. I'm happy. Crosby with 62-62, Kessel with 50-62, Kuzmenko has 42, Killorn has 42, Pietrangelo has 42, Suzuki with 42. We got a minus 14 Johansson. We got to work on that. So we can make a trade here. And we're going to be looking for, I think we need to go for a forward. Preferably a top liner. In the entire league, Ovi's leading the way with 83 points in 63 games. Same with Stamkos. Wow, Giroux has 82. Bergeron with 80. Kopitar 79. Matthews 77. Look at Bergeron, 45 goals. We should have signed him. In terms of goalies, honestly, Montembeault hasn't been as bad. He has gotten a little bit better here. I think we're going to stick unless we can, shoehorn a goalie into a trade. But I do think we need a top-line scorer. We have JT Miller available. Interesting. Stevenson, Trouba, Klingberg, a lot of defensemen. We have Bertuzzi available. There's Evander Kane. We have options. Tyler Bertuzzi has 56 points in 61 games. I think that this could be a good fit. I'm not going to guarantee we go after Bertuzzi. I'm going to keep looking around, but that's a good option.
5 minutes later.
I think if we're going to do this, we need to be smart. Let's go get Bertuzzi. Miller's already gone, and I don't want to miss out on getting a player here. That being said, we're going to try and get Bertuzzi. We'll see if we can get somebody else too. Now, we have Niemela. He's got some trade value, but a reminder, I'm not allowed to use draft picks here, which could make things pretty hard. We have these two prospects that we can trade for Bertuzzi. Let's see what else we might be able to get here. Maybe we go after Mantha as well. It says it might go through. We can get Bertuzzi and Mantha to really give us some firepower heading into the playoffs. Will this go through? They say no. We'll have to add, and again, I cannot add draft picks. That makes things way more complicated. How about Gauthier? I feel like that's a lot, actually. We might be overpaying. Who do they have in net? Do they have anyone that we like? Robin Leonard? He's having a horrible season, and so is Korpisalo. Don't want one of them. We got lots of time to make something happen here. I don't want to rush it. I'm going to try and get Nyes in here as well. So that's a lot. I don't know if we're going to be able to get all three here. But we can give up a roster player if we're going to do this. And I think a good roster player to give up, give him Ryan Suter. They just traded Bertuzzi. I didn't get it done in time. They just traded Bertuzzi. I'm going to take a different approach now. I'm going to go after Mangiapane and Charlie Coyle. Just trying to get something happening here to improve the team for the playoffs that are upcoming. I'm going to give them a couple of young guys and maybe Ryan Suter and just hope and pray this goes through. And they do say yes. So that's our trade. A couple of players who are not going to be like top line players for us, but hopefully it will help us in this playoff run. I feel like we were really close to getting Bertuzzi and Mantha there. It just didn't end up happening. Guys, here are the lines as we head into the playoffs. I did everything I can. I can't find any chemistry that works here. I tried everything. So this is how it's going to look. On defense, it's a little bit better. Ekholm, Savard, Hanifin, Pietrangelo, Giordano, and Soucy. And we are going to run with Montembeault and Allen into the playoffs. Let's go ahead and sim all the way up to the final game of the year. We're 48, 27, and 6. Currently sitting 3 points behind the Ottawa Senators. Unfortunately, we are out of reach. We will finish second in the division. Let's find out how we do against Boston in the final game of the regular season. In the first period, it's a 1-0 game. Mangiapane gets the goal. Second period, it's 2-1 as Mangiapane gets a second. And just like that, that trade's looking pretty solid for us. Now, of course, we'll go through all the stats and everything before we take a look and see who we're playing in round number 1 of the playoffs. But I'm pretty happy with this year. It went a lot better than I expected. 2 minutes to go here in the third period of the final game, and we walk away with a victory. Good game, guys. Good game. A couple goals from Mangiapane, a good goaltending effort from Montembeault, and we are off to round number 1. Crosby finishes at a point per game, 82 and 82. Kessel has 64. Mangiapane had 57. But since coming over, he had 11 points in 20 games. Not terrible. Kuzmenko with 57. Killorn with 57. Suzuki with 56. And the other addition, Charlie Coyle, since coming over, put up 7 points in 20 games, doing much better than he was on Philadelphia. Goalie stats, Jake Allen doing pretty damn well. A 927 to 214. Those are Vezina numbers. No, legitimately, those are Vezina numbers. I would be shocked if he doesn't get it. Claude Giroux leads the entire league in points with 115. Matthews with 105. Ovi with 102. Stamkos with 102. Connor McDavid with 99. Bergeron gets 98. We couldn't pry him away from Detroit. Kucherov with 98. There's Panarin, Eichel, Kopitar, Draisaitl, Tarasenko, Marchand, Kane, Point, and Huberdeau. We finished with 49 wins on the season. A great year, honestly, a great year. And in the entire league, we finished 5th, behind only Ottawa, Columbus, Anaheim, and Minnesota. It's time to find out who we're playing in round number 1, and it's going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's take a look at their squad. Line 1 is Tuch, Pavelski, Svechnikov, then Jenner, McCann, Shen, Fabry, Carlson, Lawton, Rustalainen, Colin White, and Evgeny Svechnikov. So they got the Svech brothers. Nice. On defense, they have Chabot, Pionk, Murray, Leddy, McNabb, and Dermott. And in net, Connor Hellebuck. This could be tough. Now, if you don't know what's going to be happening, I sim the first 4 games of every single round. We go through them super quickly so that way we're not here for 4 hours. Then we'll slow sim the rest of the games and watch every overtime. Game 1 right above me, right here against Tampa Bay. We're just going to sim up to the day. We're just going to find out what the score is and move on to game number 2. And we lose game number 1 to Tampa. Game number 2 is a loss as well. We're down 2-0 in the series. Game number 3 now. Are we going to go down 0-3? We win in overtime. That's a big one. Now for game number 4. In game number 4, we win again in overtime. The same score, 3-2, and it's all tied up at 2. Mangiapane with 5 points in 4 games. Kessel with 4. Crosby with 3. Suzuki with 2. Some of these players, man, I don't know. I'm concerned for sure. I'm not going to touch anything for this game as we slow sim it. Let's find out what happens in game 5. We're back at home, and after the first period, we're up 2-0. Pietrangelo and Kuzmenko get on the board. Second period, it's still 2-0, and we're looking pretty good to go up in the series. Tampa on the power play, they don't capitalize, and we're looking solid. Half a period to go, and we're up by 2. Come on, guys, hang on to this. Not even sure who's in net. I would assume Allen, and he is pitching a shutout. 3 minutes to go. 2, 1... and Killorn with the empty netter as we shut out the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 5. Montembeault got the start, and he made 25 saves. Interesting. Montembeault has been the starter, even though Allen had better numbers. And I had Allen in the starter spot. Well, we're going to run with Montembeault now, because his numbers are great, and he just shut them out. But that's a little shocking. Time for game number 6. If we win this, we move on to round 2. If we lose, we go back home for game 7. After the first period, it is 4-2. Krejci, Oshie, Krejci, Mangiapane. Holy crap. Second period, it's still 4-2. We're up by 2 in the third. Again, Tampa with an early power play. They do not capitalize. It's almost a repeat here. Halfway through the third period, up by 2. We're looking good, guys. Come on, shut them down. Tampa, good series. Not enough, as we do get that empty netter from Kuzmenko. And we beat Tampa in 6. Mangiapane leading the way with 7. Crosby with 5. Kuzmenko with 5. Kessel with 5. We can see everyone's stats down here. That Mangiapane deal is actually working out really well for us. Great trade. Let's see what happens here. And we find out who we play in round number 2. All right, who's it going to be? Round 2 against the Florida Panthers. They went 44, 30, and 8. Let's find out what the team's looking like. Slavkovsky, Hintz, Kapanen, Roslovic, Sagan, Bailey, Johnson, Glendening, Fisher, Holtz, Holla, and Boquist. Based on this, we should be able to walk all over them. Their defense is Slavin, Liljegren, Walker, Nurse, Power, and Delzato, so their defense is a bit better. And in net, it's Linus Ullmark, and that's going to be the big test here. Can we solve Ullmark, and can we move on to round 3? You know the drill, we're going to sim the first 4 games, so after game number 1, the series is 1-0 Florida. We get shut out. After game number 2, the series is 1-1, a big 3-1 victory. After game number 3, it is 2-1 in favor of us. And after game number 4, we are up 3-1 against the Florida Panthers on to game number 5. I accidentally simmed the first period, and it is 0-0, so we didn't miss anything. It's game 5. We're at home. Second period, 1-0. Savard gets it. Let's go. We are in the third period, up by 1 on Florida. They don't have a crazy good team. This can be a team that we can walk all over here, and Kapanen solves Montembeault to tie it up with 10 minutes to go here. Come on. Let's get back on the board. I do not want to go to overtime. I want to win this now. Florida on the power play. It's a long one, but they don't score. We're headed to OT. I simmed it. We lost. I meant to watch it. I'm so sorry, guys. We lost. We lost. We're losers. Allmark, what a performance. 32 saves. My bad, guys. Well, on the plus side, we didn't miss much. You know what happened is I got my new controller, which is the like the Pro controller from PlayStation. The back button is mapped to X, so I hit that instead of trying to sim it. So I apologize on that. Let's move on to Game 6 here and see if we can close out this series. Roslovic, early, scores on Montembeault. Holy crap, all right. Well, 1-0 Florida, and after the first period, it stays that way. Holy crap, not good. Second period, still 1-0 Florida. If we lose this, we head home to Game 7. If we win, we move on to round 3. Florida on the power play, they don't score. Our offense is kind of dried up here. We looked good there, but we have not scored a lot, and there's Hoffman making me eat my words. Ties the game at 1. Come on, guys, 5 minutes to go. Let's get another one late. Let's just end this game. Back-to-back overtime games? Is it going to happen? It is. This time, we're going to watch. Big overtime starting here. I'm not going to commentate everything. I'll run out of breath. Here comes Kessel, actually. He shoots. That one almost gets through Allmark. That would have been great. But I will make sure to commentate for the big goal. We'll watch the celebration, of course. Hopefully, it's for Montreal. Roslovic scores in overtime. Damn. Just like that, we're going to Game 7 against the Florida Panthers. We've only scored 2 goals in the last 2 games. The defenses look good, but we need a spark. So I'm going to change things up here for Game 7. I'm going to throw Suzuki on the first line with Crosby and Mangiapane. Let's see if we can win this game simply by making that move. I want to see if Mangiapane, Crosby, and Suzuki can carry us to a victory. Game 7, if we win, we move on to round 3. If we lose, the Fantasy Draft Challenge is over for Montreal. And after the first period, it is 1-0 Kuzmenko with the goal. Second period, it's 2-2. Suzuki does score on that first line, but Johnson and Fisher solve Montembeault, and here we go. Florida on the power play. And they score Tyler Seguin. We're down by 1, and Holla scores. Oh no, we're down by 2, guys. This is not good. 7 minutes to go. Somebody do something. Coyle! You know what? We tried, but it's just not enough. We're going to watch the handshake here. I got so excited for like 2 seconds as Charlie Coyle, the acquisition from the deadline, got us within 1, only for them to come right back and put the dagger through the Montreal Canadiens. There's 27 seconds left in the game, down by 2. We need a miracle, and unfortunately, I don't think we're getting one. You never know, I guess. Krejci brings it in, 19 seconds to go. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen here, guys. Unfortunately, the run is done. A great season from Montreal. Way better than I thought it was going to be. But just not enough to get on to round 3. We had multiple chances to close it out, and we couldn't get it done. The Florida Panthers eliminate the Montreal Canadiens in 7 games in round 2. From here, we're just going to go find out who won the Stanley Cup, take a look at your player stats, and your final awards before we get out of here. Your Stanley Cup champions here in the Fantasy Draft Challenge, the New York Rangers. Mangiapane had 14, Crosby only had 9, Kuzmenko with 8, Krejci with 8. Realistically, the offense dried up there against Florida, and it just wasn't enough, even though Montembeault played great, surprisingly. In terms of awards, of course, the Cup goes to the Rangers, the President's Trophy to the Minnesota Wild, the Clarence goes to the Flames, the Prince of Wales to the Rangers, the Art Ross to Claude Giroux, the Hart to Giroux, the Norris to Bowen Byram, the Lady Bing to Giroux, Jack Quinn gets to the Calder, Tavares with the Conn Smythe, the Vezina goes to Gorgiev? How the fuck? What? The Jennings goes to Jake Allen. Okay, Samuelson gets to Masterton. The Jack Adams to Fox out of Chicago. Barkov gets to Selke. The Lindsay to Giroux. The Richard to Matthews. And now I'm confused on what the hell does Jake Allen have to do to win the Vezina. Gorgiev had a 919 and a 248, winning 38 games on the season. Jake Allen won 32 games with a 927 and a 214. He was robbed. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this Fantasy Draft Challenge. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'm sorry to the Habs fans I couldn't get you a cup. Let me know down below who you want to see in the next episode, and I'll try and win with that team, but we'll see what happens, guys. That was a tough one. I thought we had it. I really did. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Stay frosty.